press the red button on top 3.
Okay, and we're rolling everywhere. Yeah. Okay, gents. Again, now we've got an interesting mix of fanciers. We've got Stear Painter. He needs no introduction. The WRRPA Union Champion 2019, Union Champion 2000 and something again. A very well-known fancier in the region. Had a fantastic season in 2019. To put it lightly, we've got Joe Gomez, another champion pigeon fancier, and then we've got Sean over here. He's an up-and-coming fancier. It's good to see some younger, less grey pigeon fanciers also in the mix nowadays. And he's starting off now with we started off with the pigeon game, and we're going to have an interesting discussion, and we're going to go through a specific topic, and that's all about selection, or how to grade a good bird, and how to buy good birds from when you buy on the internet, WhatsApp groups. How do you go about spending your money wisely? Because there's so many. I think you said there's about 40 WhatsApp groups going now.
No, I think there's around about 10 WhatsApp groups.
10 WhatsApp groups.
And I guess at the moment during COVID, the average is about between 20 and 30 birds get sold every day. And because I own a group, I often get asked questions on how do we grade a bird? What am I going to get if I bid on this bird? And so obviously I try my utmost best to select very stringently only the best ones to sell. The problem is that if a guy's sitting in Durban and buying a bird in Krugersdorp, he's had no opportunity to handle that. And I've had many complaints of fanciers that bought birds on other groups that they paid for a bird and didn't get what they expected. And I said to Sean, being a beginner and having bought quite a number of birds on the WhatsApp groups, that maybe it's a good idea to start a group where there's at least some selection in terms of pedigree, in terms of the physical characteristics, etc. And I think maybe it's a good idea to ask Sean about his experiences in terms of what he's bought, because he's bought a number of birds and he's had different experiences, quite pleasant experiences and some not so pleasant experiences.
So Sean, it's over to you, bud. Just give us a quick view on your experience in buying birds, just starting off, what you've bought, your experience with these various platforms of buying birds.
Well, I bought, most of the birds that I bought have been inbred pigeons to good families in South Africa. Reason being, I'm looking for some crossing material, so that was the idea to start. The problem is that when I purchase a pigeon, it looks fantastic on photo, but when it gets to you, it's almost, you don't know what you're getting. It's a lucky pack. So when buying it off of a photo, it's very difficult, and only reading the pedigree only takes you so far. For example, if I'm looking for a larger cock for a specific hen of mine, I can't find that on any WhatsApp group. You can't. No one tells you that it's a medium pigeon, it's a small pigeon, or it's more a short distance or a long distance. No, that doesn't get told you. So you get a picture of the bird and you get a pedigree, and the rest is by chance, is by luck. And I bought some pigeons from good pedigrees and good fanciers in South Africa. I must say I've been quite lucky. I've got a few good ones, but more than half of them, when you get the pigeon, it's not what was promised to you on the pedigree and or the fancier that sold it to you. With these, it's almost like people are just breeding to sell. There's no selection that goes into it before it gets to the auction. It just gets sold on its pedigree.
Yeah, I think gone are the days where you can rely on a pigeon fancier's integrity. Unfortunately, it takes me back to something I read about Karel Mielemans. that when he sold pigeons to people, he'll take them to his loft. These are the birds that is available, and they'll say, you can have all the birds, but not that one. It's no good. And he will take it out right there in front of that fancier. That's how honest the guy was. But gone are those days.
100%.
So we need to have the discussion. The purpose of this discussion is how do we go about now spending our money? Because some of these birds, paper tigers, whatever you want to call them, goes for a lot of money.
For lots of money.
And you know, for the average guy, 2, 3, 4,000 rand for a single bird is a lot of money still. And some even go upwards from 10. And we spoke about it earlier. There's no pedigree, there's no providence. You don't know what you're getting. So let's ask the experts here. So how are we gonna?
Well, the first thing that I want to ask Joe is that he made a very interesting remark earlier this afternoon when I asked him, would you buy a bird over the internet and WhatsApp groups without handling it?
I personally wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I equate it, please take this as tongue in cheek, it's like ordering these Russian brides. When they get you, they're not the same. You become a guy that hides and she's the Russian bride. No, it's very difficult to just off a photograph, and I believe I'm using someone else's mouth. Photoshopping, I don't even know what that means, but apparently they photoshopped the pigeons. Years ago I saw a whole lot of birds and I thought, man, they all look the same, they all got the same head. How the heck is that possible? Someone told me the word's Photoshop and they put them in a stencil, I don't know, something. So you can't get a true opinion without touching the bird and handling the bird.
No, and that's why I think there's definitely a demand for just getting an objective perspective on a pigeon. So, for instance, if you sell a pigeon, Henry, and you ask me to grade it, or just give an opinion, you know,
Honest opinion.
this is a medium-sized cock. It's got, you know, from a build perspective, it's fantastic. It's got very good vent bones. It's got a small pupil. It's got a good throat. The feathering is nice. Then obviously that sets some kind of standard that somebody else has looked at the pigeon and that's what you're buying. And I'm not saying that the sellers out there are trying to mislead people. Not at all. But it would sometimes, as Sean said, help if somebody said, listen, this is a large cock. It's a strong boy. He's quite big, and that might actually fall into exactly what he's looking for. Or if I've got a big hen, and Joe's got a nice little cock out of his gold medal winner's father.
Don't have a small cock.
I was waiting for that.
then I'd be interested in getting that pigeon, and therefore, you know, I think it would help guys sitting in Cape Town buying in Joburg and vice versa, because the market is vibrant. I mean, I think COVID is, you know, boredom has driven people to start watching these groups, and it's actually, in my opinion, there's fantastic birds selling way below what they should be selling, because there is just a picture and a very sketchy pedigree. And maybe we should just have a discussion on what to look for first when a pigeon appears on a WhatsApp. The first thing I look for is the pedigree. Ideally, the pigeon self should have some race results, or if it's been bred for stock, then look at the parents and the 4 grandparents. If you find less than 4 winners, and if I'm saying a winner is a strange term, but let's just say a performer in the top 1% of the union. If you find 4 of those, you've got a very good idea that the winning lines are in this bird. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, definitely, because the story of just breeding everything, especially a bird that has never raced, just been bred for stock, you know, goes through a bit of a mold, nice photograph.
You don't know what you're getting.
I mean, you know, you bought most probably many like that.
Plenty.
When if it's a bird that really has flown very well, and then someone which most people don't sell, by the way, they'll keep those ones. But say there is a bird available that is a performer in his own right. that's, you can maybe take a chance with that.
Yes.
But the others, you have to have someone putting
Some sort of score.
some
or
sort of
selection.
score. I mean, Pippa does it. I'm not sure how they do it, but they do it.
Yeah, I think they grade, by categories. You've touched on an interesting point, and that is that, in my opinion, if I had to give advice to fanciers looking to buy pigeons, it's often better to buy some of the younger pigeons. In other words, we're now in 2020. If you're looking to buy something that's out of a champion's absolute top birds in his stock lot, it's very unlikely that you're going to find a 5-year-old hen who's just about in her prime. That's a 5-time winner and has bred 5 or 6 winners already on a WhatsApp group. The 2015s, 2014s, 2013s that typically, and I'm generalizing, but in my experience, those birds have not got a race record, and it's also not got a great breeding record. So rather stay away from those. Rather focus on birds that are younger, out of the top lines. What do you think there?
But you guys will agree with me here. I mean, Joe, your top stock cock, not every single baby that comes out of him is a top flyer.
Definitely not. 50% rubbish.
And bad rubbish. Like bad.
Yeah, I don't even know about them.
Yeah. So you see that's the problem. So
Gone.
Joe can put on WhatsApp out of his best cock.
Yeah.
Joe's got fantastic pigeons.
And 50%
And
rubbish.
You stand a 50-50 chance of getting a useless pigeon.
Oh,
A bad one.
unfortunately.
And I think that's the problem is that people are breeding out of their good ones just to sell, just to cash in on that good pigeon. I mean, even Joe's gold medal winner, if we paired it with Stear's gold medal winner,
Yeah, it's no good.
we're only going to get half that will make it to the race line.
Yeah.
And then of those, maybe half will race well.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then of those,
Maybe
it's a
one will
different
breed
question which is going to breed.
There we go. So-
and if you buy pigeons over WhatsApp or the internet, you're obviously buying them for the stock lot and not for the race lot. So
you actually stand a 90% chance of not getting a great pigeon.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
If you're lucky.
and it's, if we put things into perspective, if we say that between 20 and 30 birds get sold every day, the average price is, I'd guess, I'd venture an educated guess, the average price is somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 rand. Yeah, an average. So that's big money, and I think what we're trying to establish here is a platform where birds does get quality stamped, quality selected.
Or an honest opinion.
Yeah.
At least. Look, it's an average bird. It's got good genes. It's worth a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's a fantastic pigeon. It's a mixed bird, but it would have done well, but it hurt its wing, or
Yes.
something like that.
Yes.
And the idea is not just to sell it because it's got a good pedigree.
Yes.
I mean, like I said, they can put their gold medals together, and there's going to be a bad pigeon that comes out of that pair.
Yes.
It's inevitable.
Yes.
But if you had to sell it, you'd get good money for that pigeon.
Yes.
Yeah,
But you
because
gotta find a guy
it's
that
what they
wants-
call a paper tiger. So
There we
it's
go.
a perfect bird on paper. But
Fantastic pigeon on paper, but its new owner will never breed anything for that owner ever. So I think a lot of guys are caught in that trap, and it's a bad trap, because I'm not saying all, but there are a lot of dishonest guys.
Yeah.
so what can be done? How can we remedy this, and how can we actually help the guys?
I think we spoke briefly about the pedigree, but maybe we should, while we have Joe here, specifically ask him, if you handle a bird the first time, what are the first things you look for?
Before the pedigree.
Yeah, before
Because I mean the pedigree
I
is
don't-
only paper.
Because-
At the end of the
look at
day.
pedigree.
Yeah, Joe's been through my loft, and I can honestly say that he's one of the very few people that was able to pick out, really, out of my top 10 birds, he was correcting 8 of them, and he classed our 17-time winner as one of the best hens he's ever handled, and he's the only one that's been able to do that. So Joe, what do you look at? What catches your eye?
You see, you get various, you can't say large birds, small birds, because you get, just like you get a good rugby player that's 6'8" and a good scrum half,
Yes.
they all do well in their
In their
a
marathon
position.
runner and a sprinter are two
That's it,
different
they're all-
runners.
but they all
But they're
great
both good.
athletes.
Yes, correct.
So I'm a type of guy that I'll look at any bird. The main thing I take, when I take the bird in my hand, I do like to feel a bird with strong vents, because the vents must be equal on both sides. And once I've seen that and I like that, then I go to the next thing. Then, the balance is important, but I've had great pigeons, and I've seen in other lofts great pigeons that are, not like some guys shake the tail like that and it doesn't go up. I've seen other birds that do this slightly. So that's not the be all and end all of a bad pigeon.
Yes.
But the vent bone, most definitely, the two vent bones.
Yes.
Then I look at the feet. Stear and I've got a private joke about the Nikes. they haven't been wearing tackies for a while. I do not like pigeons with swollen pads of the cushions.
Tell us why.
Like I said in my introduction here, I don't want to use medicine. I've found over the years, all birds with a slight, some of them only one leg, some of them both, they have a necessity for medication. So somewhere they've come with a story, with a problem. They've picked up something, and whether it's paratyphoid, whether whatever it is, it's something. And I've found sometimes as the bird gets older, almost like us that get gout, I suppose, it seems to swell up. And normally, I've found some of my top breeding cocks, when that goes wrong, they don't breed like they used to when they were younger.
Yes.
You get the exception that never get it.
Yes.
They never get it. They're 21 years old, they fall off the perch, their feet are still, and they do sometimes carry on breeding.
Yes.
Hence, same thing. So that's the one thing. I straight away back off a bird with that, because I'm just a little bit scared.
Yes.
I don't want to become a medicine man.
Do you think it's got something to do with circulation?
I would think circulation. Then some oaks have told me, yeah, but I've got concrete floors. But I've seen oaks with concrete floors.
Yes, well, I've got concrete floors in all my lots.
And not all the birds have got that in the cushion. So I don't think that's the true answer. I've seen wooden floors and the oaks have got big yelter.
Yeah.
Any health ailment with the pigeon,
That
whether
is,
it be heart,
that is
liver,
whatever it
circulation,
is. It's something that's not
respiratory,
right.
something.
I don't want to buy a problem pigeon. That's the problem. And I don't want to. So remember when you give me your top bird, that was a top bird. I look at him today.
Correct.
I don't look at him when he won you races 3 years ago.
Yes.
I look at him today.
Because you're buying him today.
Or
to breed with
I'm
this
looking and
week.
giving you an idea today.
Yes.
So
100%.
maybe something happened to the animal in between. I mean, the thing with the vent bones, like I said to you guys, I handle my birds, almost all of them, every day. And I'm telling you, I've seen it.
Yes.
Birds change. Perfect bird today,
Yes.
in my own loft.
Yes.
Tomorrow, suddenly the vent goes in the one side. It's picked up, somewhere along the line, it's picked up some viral infection or whatever infection.
Yes.
It doesn't get sick that it's sick, but it's
Something's
something.
not right.
And it recovers again, it comes right again. Let me tell you, that pigeon
Yes.
will never be a champion. But now, if I don't handle in between those days,
That
he
you
looks
won't
fine,
know.
and then he looks fine. So I come to, so sometimes I hide that thing. See, that's the finesse of pigeons. And when you're getting something from the outside, you don't know.
Yes.
So you've got to be overcautious almost.
Yes. Then the next thing that I picked up when you went through our birds is there's a sign in the wing that many fanciers and some very well-known fanciers overseas sees as a big positive, and that's what's called the flight of honor. So in the secondary flights, you might find a 2 or 3 year old racer suddenly amongst the secondary flights get a flight that grows out skew or it's twisted.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. People have called it worker flights, flight of honor, whatever.
Yes.
I don't like, I'm not saying, I personally don't use those birds. And once the bird has done that, you will find that normally on that side of the body, the same side that the flight gets twisted, the vent tends to go.
So it goes in.
The vent goes in on that same side, not always,
Yes.
but most times.
Yes.
The vent goes, the eye goes, because the eye also goes a little bit, breaks.
Right.
And that's normally the sign of the bird is not 100%.
Right.
It's changed.
Yes.
So That's my sort of, I don't want to play games, I don't want, and you find, you don't want birds that fly well in the beginning and halfway in the season they start fading.
Correct.
You know, then you've got to keep 200 pigeons, you know.
Yeah.
I want a bird that flies right through. Obviously at some stage of the season you'll peak and you'll come slightly down, but you must be able to do the
You must be
season
able to fly 10 or 12 races per
in
season.
a row
Yeah.
even, and I mean maybe that's not what everybody wants,
Yes.
but that's what I look for.
Yes.
And I don't want birds, and you find a lot of those birds there that do that twisted flight.
Yes.
That's a sign of when it's a 2 and a 3-year-old.
Yes.
You don't get that as a baby.
No.
But what a lot of people don't realize is they don't keep a little stock book, condition book of their thing. When a baby gets sick, a young bird disease baby, and you've medicated him to get him right, write that number down.
Yes.
Or mark him or something. Because a year later, when you've forgotten about it, that's where the twisted flight comes from.
Yes.
But you forgot that a year ago, this bird had for a week or so,
It wasn't good.
but
Yeah.
not all of them twist,
Yes.
but a lot of them twist.
Yes. So again, that's a sign of maybe not having the natural resistance.
Something, I mean, whatever it is, whether it's just weak genes or weak pigeon, maybe the mom, when originally she laid the egg, she wasn't perfect, so the baby wasn't as good as it could be.
Yes.
There's many factors, you know. But the thing I can tell you from my own previous experience, and I don't have this argument with anyone, I have this discussion.
Yes.
Myself, that I race my birds 20 weeks in a row.
Yes.
So that's quite flying
Yes.
hard. My top birds don't have twisted flights.
Exactly. And you found the
So
same.
now,
yeah.
how hard and more must I race?
Yes. Yeah.
So that tells you that workers fly, that fly